Today, once more, they will replenish themselves, cheat death again, through the power of their source.
Matt Stone, 180degreehealth.com.
Whew, I'm tired. Hey, it's Matt Stone from 180 Degree Health. I just got back from a backpacking trip, and to clarify, backpacking in American is the same as trekking to you other people. Backpacking for Europeans and stuff like that is usually referred to travel, not necessarily grabbing up a bunch of your personal belongings and outdoor gear and hiking across the desert for almost 30 miles in 3 days. Anyway, I went out with my dad, and I didn't want to do, just going to skip the health topic for this week's, this Wednesday video, and talk a little bit about backpacking. I have written a book on it called Go Backpacking, way back when I was a young little tiger. So it is, somewhat of a passion of mine still. And there's a really neat place. I've been wanting to take my dad to it for a long time. I was introduced to it almost 10 years ago. And it's a place called Coyote Gulch out in southern Utah. Now, Utah is like the most underappreciated state of the 50 U.S. states as far as I'm concerned. The desert region is amazing. The mountains are incredible. The town of Moab is just absolutely the outdoor adventure mecca of the United States, and a lot of people haven't even heard of it. Moab? Never heard of it. So anyway, it's a great place, and I'm just going to show you a few pictures. I don't take pictures. I never have even owned a camera. I have a phone that takes pictures. I take a few from time to time, but I just can't motivate myself to take pictures. It just seems to be at odds with the activity of doing the whole primitive thing, whipping out fancy gadgets is something I like to keep to a minimum. The only gadget I do use is a GPS to keep me from getting even more lost than I typically am when I go out there. But anyway, as you can see, looking at some of these pictures, really, really neat place. Went into a place called Crack in the Wall and squeezing through that crack just barely. As you can see, it's very tight. It's a crack between the two layers in the wall, and it enables you to get in the canyon. It's really hard to get in the canyon because the walls are so steep. There's very few places where you can do it. This happens to be one. It's so narrow that you have to lower your pack down with a rope. But we managed to walk across the desert and squeeze in through Crack in the Wall and enter there. And then we cruised through and got deeper and deeper up the canyon, and got into some really neat stuff. There's incredible natural rock arches, natural bridge where there's a big hole in the rock where the river flows through. There's a cool water creek that flows through the canyon. The walls are beyond vertical, most of them, so just really, really neat. The acoustics in there are incredible. You can, if you clap your hands, you just hear the echo, and you hear somebody whispering from 200, 300 yards away. It's pretty remarkable, the acoustics in there. There's natural springs everywhere. There's couple of natural springs like this one here, where there's a big, beautiful freshwater pool. There's a lot of springs that drip out of the sandstone, so you can run over and just fill up your water bottle and drink. And pretty good stuff coming out of there. So that's low maintenance, not a whole lot of filtration or any of that kind of crap. I don't do that stuff anyways because I'm such a wild man. But anyway, the sort of the pinnacle of the canyon is the Jacob Hamlin Arch, and we spent quite a bit of time there, and really not a lot of people out, which was great. And farther on down the canyon, where the turns are really, really tight, you can see a very stylistic photo taken during one of those really, really tight elbows in the canyon, just down from Jacob Hamlin Arch. Right on the far end, Stevens Arch, really, really massive arch way up in the sky, very beautiful. But anyway, I've been trekking, backpacking, whatever you want to call it, all over Nepal. I've done some trips in Central America, climbed the highest peak there. I worked as a wilderness ranger for many seasons. I did, big backpacking adventures all over California, Washington, Where else? Wyoming, Montana, tons and tons in Colorado, and many, many trips all throughout the desert. And I can say after all those adventures, seeing everything from Mount Everest to doing backpacking trips along the California coast, that Coyote Gulch is truly one of the most magical places I've ever been to. And if you guys ever want to take up this activity, that would be a great place to go and check it out. And that's why I just did a little expose. And backpacking or trekking as an activity is really decreased in popularity because of the information age. Makes it to where people are less able to get away and get off the computer and away from their phones for multiple days without any connection to the outside world. And someday that will probably change when we are reconnected, and the activity will change because people will be out there on their phones and updating their Facebook status and stuff like that. So go out there and enjoy the activity while you can. If you can, it's really, really neat. I highly recommend it. And anyway, that's Coyote Gulch. Catch you guys in a nice health-related, more health-related video on Saturday.
Subscribe to the 180 Degree Health channel now, or you will be abducted by lesbian Nazi hookers from outer space and forced into a weight loss program.
It doesn't matter what you had for lunch.